Endometriosis is a condition I know very little about. It will never affect me. It's a condition of the womb, and being a man, I don't have one of those, no matter what woke leftists come out with. The little I do know is that it affects around 1 in 10 women, and it's when part of the lining of the uterus grows outside of the uterus, therefore every month it doesn't get removed, as it were. The condition is incredibly painful and often requires surgery. And now a charity called Endometriosis South Coast from right here in England has come under fire because their new CEO is a man. But does that matter? That a man is the CEO of a charity for something only women can experience? After all, I think at present, the CEO of Prostate Cancer UK, that's a woman. The issue is, this is a woke diversity hire, because the man in question believes that he's a woman. Yes, it's a trans woman, and I'll be using he, him pronouns because as we progress, we'll discover that this person does not deserve your or my respect. This is a trans woman who comes with red flags. More red flags than the fucking Communist Party. This is Steph Richards. Now take a good look, because this is what he looks like without the filters. Steph is 71 years old but identifies as 40. So why is that an issue? Why is a man pretending to be a woman also pretending to be 31 years younger than he actually is any cause for concern? Well, on Twitter, Steph stated that men, women and children are all social constructs. You know, children, those small people, those below the age of consent. Well, maybe if in Steph's worldview children don't really exist, then maybe the age of consent shouldn't also exist. And there have been allegations, and that is all they are, allegations, that he may have been inappropriate in the company of children. But there's a concrete record where Steph said to an adult male survivor of childhood sexual abuse, and I quote, "Grow up." Doesn't he sound bloody delightful? However, as a cross-dressing pervert, sorry, a trans woman, maybe he'd be the right man for the job. Because so many trans women have this weird obsession with the female reproductive cycle. But I don't think he's really a friend of most women. Because Steph organised a protest outside the largest gathering of feminists in Europe, and back in 2021 stated on Twitter that he would keep using women's changing rooms, toilets, competing in women's sports, and he's an advocate for trans women competing in women's sports. Men competing against women despite having a massive advantage. And as a transvestite with autogynephilia, he also seems to enjoy making women feel uncomfortable. Steph made the point of recording the tale on social media of when he approached a woman wearing a t-shirt on which was printed adult human female. That is the dictionary definition of what is a woman. And he said when he confronted her, she didn't want to debate him. I'm guessing that any woman wearing that shirt doesn't want to be approached by some creepy weirdo going, "I'm a woman as well." Steph also advocates for puberty blockers for children, so they are the chemicals which in parts of the USA are used to chemically castrate sex offenders. Also, puberty blockers, yeah, keep the children younger for longer. He also says that he has a female brain, something which has been debunked by doctors, psychologists and anyone with a modicum of common fucking sense. What was that charity thinking? Yes, they're trying to show how progressive they are. But a charity that deals with a condition that only affects women, hiring a man who cosplays and LARPs as a woman with a history of bullying and harassing women, who also comes across as, well, a borderline nonce. Please note, I did not say that's what he is, I just said that's how he comes across. And the backlash has been spectacular. Now, when I read this story yesterday, by the time I went onto X, formerly Twitter, to put in my 2 pennies worth, the charity had blocked all comments because in a matter of hours it received over 1,000 negative comments. No one was supporting this appointment, and it didn't help of a tweet that had re-emerged by Steph where he said he would see TERFs in hell. So at least he knows where he's going. TERFs. That phrase used by trans rights activists to describe women who essentially live in reality and don't want to share their spaces with men, particularly men who are cross-dressing sex pests. But open hostility towards TERFs is on the increase. I've got a clip coming up. I've had to mute it for copyright. The song that should be playing is Rockstar by Pink. So, mate, what the fuck are you meant to be? A common question with trans women is, do I pass? Meaning, do I pass as a woman? That man there barely passes as human. And so many of the new trans women are just next level incels. Incels, involuntary celibates. This strange movement of men who are angry at women because they're not getting sex. Who don't seem to realise, and I'm guessing here, I'm not speaking for women, but groups of weird men, basement dwellers with poor personal hygiene, who spend all their free time on message boards describing violent sexual fantasies. I don't think most women would find that attractive. But now they put on a dress and hey presto, trans lesbian. So they can log on to female-only dating apps to get rejected even harder. And the hatred isn't just towards TERFs, it's also towards transphobes, or basically anyone that doesn't go along with the ideology. So I've got a clip coming up. Bear in mind, this person recorded this, probably watched it back, and then thought, yes, I will post that to the internet to show I am a sane and rational person.
Yes, I do wish death on transphobic people because they wish death on me and have caused death to many, many, many of my brothers and sisters in the trans community. I want to stab all of you to death as many times as I can. I want to stab you in the throat and twist it like I'm carving a fucking pumpkin. I want to shred you into tiny fucking pieces. I want to tear your fucking bones out from your goddamn body. I want to scoop your brains out with a fucking spoon. I want to eat your fucking flesh.
So, torture, murder, and cannibalism. Does this person wonder why maybe they don't have too many friends? Talking once again about this trans genocide that simply is not taking place. Why would anyone want to associate with someone like that? That person should be on the FBI's watch list. However, I have one final clip because in the interests of equality, balancing things out, this clip shows that women can be fucking stupid as well.
This is exactly why the medical industry and doctors need more training and less ignorance when it comes to trans rights and it comes to gender affirming care. So let's talk about this, because Barbara started this conversation with like, oh, it's not so bad to be a woman, and obviously it turned into this. Barbara is basically saying, if I were to treat you for anything, it would be as a female. Well, let me tell you something, Barbara. You shouldn't be a doctor. Period. I wouldn't trust you with my children. I wouldn't trust you with my life. Because here's the thing, Barbara. I'm a trans guy. I am in the process of transitioning. I've had surgery. I'm taking testosterone. It's been just over a year that I've been on T, and any doctor that knew their shit would know that that completely transforms your body. That my body parts are no longer female, not even biological female, because my biology has changed. My body chemistry has changed because of hormones. Hormones are what create that biology in the first place. My body has changed to the point where I no longer have female parts, at least in the same way you do. So it's incredibly dangerous for you to sit here and say, I would treat you as a female, because not only are you transphobic and you shouldn't be anywhere near trans patients. In fact, you probably shouldn't be anywhere near kids, period, just in case. But like this right here, this is medical negligence. I don't honestly even know how you are still a doctor, but I hope that the medical board sees this. I'm going to go in and report you.
I've cut that short because she bangs on for another 2 or 3 minutes, but madam, you are not male. You are not becoming male. You are a woman who's injecting a shitload of testosterone, and guess what? It's making you very aggressive. And going on camera to lose her shit at a doctor just demonstrates her utter ignorance. A doctor will know far more about the human body than a woman who thinks she's a man. Even if she has all the surgery, it won't make her male. She will still have XX chromosomes. Now, she can live her life however she wants, but don't lecture others based from a point of absolute delusion. And if anyone watching this takes issue with anything I've said, well, I'm going to use Steph's logic and say I now identify as a 12-year-old girl. So if you don't like what I've said, that's bullying and bordering on child abuse. Everyone else, as ever, what a time to be alive. Thanks for watching.